Adding to the woe felt by Britain's commuters, an early morning derailment at Britain's busiest train station. Thankfully, no one needed to be taken to hospital after this incident at Waterloo. But as well as disruptions, there were demonstrations. Across the country's rail network, the news filtered through that fares for millions of people will soon rise by as much as 3.6%.
You know, it's just a joke. They just try and make money out of people that have got coming to work, really.
It's pretty scandalous. It's not in line with quality of service or consistency of service or standards or anything like that.
We're just jam-packed in trains and, you know, it's very uncomfortable, so I don't feel like the increase is really justified.
The service hasn't warranted the increase in prices. So yeah, it's just disappointing.
There's an awful lot of taxpayers' money goes into subsidising railways, and yet the price to the consumer keeps on going up.
The amount rail companies are able to increase prices next January is determined by last month's Retail Prices Index, one of the ways inflation is measured. But there are increasing calls not to use this as the benchmark to set fares. Mum of two Louise works for a charity in London 3 days a week, commuting in from home at Rainham in Kent. The rising prices means she's now considering whether to work at all.
I think if it carries on going up at the highest percentage rate that it's going up to today, we'll seriously have to consider it in a few years.
Because it's just not feasible to continue.
It just becomes so expensive. Thank goodness I really enjoy my job and I like where I work, but I think if those weren't the cases, I would be probably not working in London already.
Train companies stress the extra money will be invested in upgrading the network.
We elect politicians to make decisions. One of those decisions is about the balance between how much the customer pays and the taxpayer pays. Our job is to make sure all parts of the railway are working together effectively to deliver that as best as possible.
But rail unions, like many passengers, are unhappy. They say staff are being cut, even as fares rise higher and higher.